I have never seen any in any code base.
Okay, okay.
So now here they have defined several integer types. It can either be 8 bit, 16 bits, 32 bits, 64 bits. Signed and unsigned. Signed means that it can be minus and plus. Unsigned means it is only positive, which means like let a equals to 5, let b equals to minus 5. See, what I can do is print for you all. Now you can see I can store 5 in A and minus 5 in B. It is possible. Be- And type of A is I8, I8. Means I can have signed integers. It can be either positive or negative. But when we make it U, it means the integers shall only be of type positive. Now this is the error. If we want our integer to be strictly above 0, we should always use U size or U8, U16, U64, anything you wish. U size is simply, this depends upon your, oh, I think, your machine architecture. So we have tuples in Rust. Tuples is a general way of grouping values. It is not mandatory to have groups of different values that are same. You can have tuple of, you can group different variables of different types like I32, F64, and U8. It will be used of, I will, we can use this tuple in example in another case, but I'll just do a quick review. Array, array is, everyone knows array is a continuous memory allocation in memory, and array is always stored on stack in Rust, on stack memory. It is not stored in heap, and the memory is continuous. Okay, shall I move to functions? Hello, anyone? Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
sure.
Please. In Rust, we do not have any function overloading. We do not have function overloading. So I hope everyone is familiar with functions. It is very simple. You just write function, name of the function. It can be anything. Hello world. Now, it this means that what you want to return, it can be of any type. If you want to return nothing, just leave it as it is and just print hello world. Simple. To call function, just do hello world. I think this is clear to everyone. Let's move to another thing. To pass in parameters, we have to declare the type. Like if I want to pass in x, I need to declare what type is it. It can be different type. Y, it will be different type string. So if I do I, it will throw error. because arguments are not matching. Does anyone have any doubt in functions?
No,
If
no.
not, I will move forward. I think no one has doubt. Now there is one more thing we can declare as a function like this also. Function, nested function. We can have function in function also. Just call nest. See, nested functions allowed in Rust. I think nobody's comments. Every language have comments. I think I can just move forward. Control if else if else statements. I think everyone should be familiar with it, but I will just give a quick overview. If means if true will go in this block, else will go in this block. We do not have any parentheses in if condition like other languages do, and it is mandatory to have a boolean expression with if. It is not like JavaScript. Let's see what happens with this function. Cool. So there is a way to return a value from infinite loop by using break. Does anyone have any doubt in control flow? If not, then I will quickly move to ownership and reference in borrowing. I'll just give a quick overview of references, ownership, and slice type.
Yes, I think you can go ahead.
Okay, cool. In ownership, what happens is every value has one owner. If the owner is dropped, the value is dropped from the memory. Like, let's see, let a equals to 5, let b equals to 6. So in this case, what happens is that A is stored on stack and B is also stored on stack, right? Let's see. Can anyone tell me what happens in this case? Hello? Anyone?
Value of A is assigned to C.
What happens in memory?
Oh, okay. The A gets deallocated and C gets the value. I mean, A is dropped.
No, it doesn't happen like that. Okay, if you are saying that A is drop, it means that I cannot print A. Should it print
No,
or not?
no.
Let
I
print.
mean, it should print. I mean,
Let's
within the bracket, it will have the value, but uh, yeah, A will be kind of null or undefined, I believe,
no. I
because
think it should print 5.
okay,
Does anyone know why this happens?
because
Hello.
both A and C are value types and they are stored on stack. So basically, the value from A is copied into the memory allocated for C.
Okay, correct, correct. Now C also have five. So what happens, like we have characters, booleans, integer, and other several variables that are copy types. So whenever we try to do something like this, the value is copied into the stack. Okay. So if I want to print the address of A, what I will do is this is how we print the address of any variable on stack. We can see address of A is this. We can do same for B, and we can do same for C. Now you can see address of each variable is different on stack, and value of A is also not dropped, and C is also not dropped, which means that the value in A is copied to the C address. I think I am clear on this. Does anyone have any doubt on this thing? Anyone? Anyone? I think no. So let me ask another question. Hello. What happens in this case? Anyone?
In this case, A is not allocated on the stack. It's actually allocated on in some other memory area called the heap.
Yeah.
And
And
when you assign A to C, basically A being a pointer, it will be marked as by the compiler as invalid, and the value of the pointer A will be assigned to the pointer C, pointing to the value hello that is stored
on the
on the
heap.
heap.
Yeah. Correct. So what happens? And he's correct. What happens in this case is whatever. See, first of all, strings are stored on heap in Rust. So A is pointing to that heap memory in Rust. Now C is pointing to that memory, and A is dropped. We can check this by doing A, C. Cool. Now it said error. We have an error. It says that value borrowed here from after move. It means that the value of A is moved in C. So value A no longer exists. Now this is compiling. Now I could see one more thing in compiler that it said use clone. Let's see what happens after clone. Oh, it passed. But what happens now? Anyone know?
It creates a second copy for,
Yeah.
same variable pointing, same location pointing to variables.
Can you please repeat?
Yeah, I'm saying that, two separate variables but pointing to the same data point.
Okay, and what does he also? I think Andrew wants to speak. Okay, yeah,
Maybe if we have people that are kind of new to programming, maybe I would like to give some sort of analogy with the real world to understand
yeah,
this better. So
yeah,
maybe if you think that hello is uh, like a piece of paper, like a post-it note, and you write hello on it, and in a small corner on the post-it note you have written A, right? And when you say in the first example, when you say let C equal A, it means that in that corner, instead of A on the post-it note, you write C, and then basically A doesn't exist anymore. But the hello is still there on the paper. Just that
yeah.
the name that you used to refer to the hello, it's different now. It's C. Now, when you say a.clone, it's basically you create another post-it note on which you have again written hello, and in the corner you have C. So now you have basically two post-it notes. You have one on which you have A and hello, and the other one on which you have C and hello. So basically, you can think of the post-it notes as the memory in the heap, and you can have some sort of labels for each piece of memory from the heap, and these are also called pointers.
Okay,
I hope
uh,
that this kind of analogy will be helpful to understand a little bit better what's happening beside the scenes.
okay. Does anyone here not able to understand what he said? Anyone? Please feel free to ask.
Yeah, actually, if it can be simplified.
Yeah, I can explain now. I will explain now. So we have. Let me explain on pip. Shit. Okay, cool. So like, is it visible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it is visible. Now, like we have A. A is A is pointing to memory. Oh, sorry, I'm new to this. Shit. We have two kinds of memory: stack and heap. Okay. Now, in this case, what happens? What was happening was that A is pointing to hello. It means hello is stored on heap, and A from stack is pointing to hello. I hope this is clear to everyone.
Y-
Now,
Yes, yes.
yeah. Now, when I do C equals to A clone, it means whatever A is pointing to, whatever A is pointing to, it will be cloned in the heap. Sorry for that. It is. No, I'm bad at this. Sorry. And this is C. Okay. Is it clear?
So that means, I mean, if I simplify, in the
Hmm.
heap memory there will be two places where hello, this variable will be placed, and A and C both will be kind of pointing to
Their own.
individually to their
Yeah. This is what happening in this case. In this case right now.
In this case, yes, yes.
Yeah. Now in the previous case, when I did A equals to C without cloning,
Hmm.
what what was happening was that a C variable on stack was allocated, right? And it will point to
Yes,
A here, and this A will be dropped off.
yes, yes.
So it will never exist.
Hmm.
I hope this
Okay,
makes
I
sense. I hope
mhm.
this makes
Got your
sense
point.
to everyone. Anyone who still has doubt in this, please feel free to ask. I can explain again. Anyone? I think everyone is getting bored. So I think let's start. It said ownership is a set of rules that governs how does program manage memory. All programs have to be managed their own way. Use computer memory. Okay. We have few rules for ownership. Each value in Rust has an owner. Only one owner can exist. And when the owner goes out of scope, the value will be dropped. What it means is that in Rust, if if C is dropped, so this thing will also be dropped. A variable scope. Can anyone explain me what is this uh, variable scope? If anyone knows, anyone? Okay, I will explain.
I think if we, if create a variable within a bracket or let's say a scope, it will
Hmm.
the limitation. I mean, we can't use it outside of that bracket or let's say in a if block if we are using creating a variable and using it outside that if variable, the variable will have no existence.
Yeah,
So
correct,
that is
correct. So as we all know, like if this is a scope and I have variables here A, B, C, or D, whatever. Yeah. After this scope, A, B, C, and D all are dropped. They do not exist. And if they are pointing to anything on heap or whatever, those are also dropped. So this is a use of variable. So I think string type, memory allocation. I explained this stuff to all. You can see if any. Can someone explain me what is this diagram? Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah, this is the stack on the left,
Yeah.
basically, and on the right we have the heap, and it shows that on the stack, basically, we have the variable s, which contains three values. It contains a number that is the pointer, that is the address of the memory,
On
the
heap.
on the heap where the string is starting, then the length of the string, and then how much memory is allocated actually on the heap to hold this value.
Okay.
So basically, maybe to come up to my analogy, basically to think about the memory. You can think it as a big paper, piece of paper, which is the stack, and then you have many other pieces of paper, and each piece of paper has a number somehow. And basically, when you write, so uh, when you refer to a piece of paper, you refer it by a number. And you can also, to make things easy for us, you can also assign a name to it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's. I think
Can
this image is quite good. On the left you have
can
the
yeah.
stack, which is somehow managed automatically, but on the right you have the heap where some of the values have to go on the heap.
Okay, I have one more question. Can capacity change?
Uh, it's you cannot change the capacity. Basically, you have to do is to create a new area of the memory and copy the values there if you want to increase or decrease the capacity.
I think it should change. I need to confirm that.
But in order to be able to change,
We need to create
you
a
have
new
to
memory on
create.
heap.
Yeah, you have to allocate a new area of the memory on the heap, and then you have to copy the string hello from the first area to the second area, and then you'll have a new a new string with a different capacity.
Okay, I think he's correct. I think I explained this thing, clone, scope, and assignment. Okay, take ownership. Has anyone read this article? Ownership and functions? Anyone?
Probably not, because this is supposed to be
Yeah.
read for the next session, I suppose.
So, should I explain or Radu? Hello.
Sorry, I was a bit distracted. Can you maybe repeat the question, please?
Uh, should I continue with the ownership and functions, or shall it be given? Shall we discuss it in next
I
week?
understand. Well, the session got quite long, so
Quite long, 3 hours.
yeah, it got quite long. So ideally, that was the plan, yeah, to explain these. But yeah, maybe we can leave it. So these three chapters will be for the next 2 weeks. So maybe we can leave it for you to read about it, and maybe we can have. I mean, for sure we'll have a call next week, and maybe we can discuss it next week. Maybe. What do you think?
I think
Also,
for today it is enough.
there are only so we are three. Is Eob here too? Is not. So we are two mentors. We are seven in the call. So actually, we are only there are only five of the learners or students. So I think the audience is not so large anyway. So I think it will be useful if we have it next week when there will be also more people.
Okay, next time we'll make try to make it as fast as possible.
No, it's not it's not that your talk was longer. It's what that before it was too long what we discussed. Understand? So it's
Yeah.
okay. Don't worry. You did very good. all the discussions were taking longer than expected, and but all was good discussions because are were very informative. I would say, all for me it was. I learned something new, and I think it's better to let this discussion when we have a broader audience.
Yeah. So I think we should stop here.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any doubt until this control flow? Anyone? I think, and I think Andre has read everything. Takunda, I think it is Takunda. Thanks, Takunda. We'll discuss ownership and functions in details in the next meeting with proper diagrams.
Yeah, I think that will be great. Yeah.
And once we start developing something useful, then everything will come in use.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do not worry if we miss something like expected result match. We'll use everything. Box, ref cell.
Yeah. So actually, very close to everything that you learn in this Rust book, you will use. So it's useful to know.
Shall we all drop?
Sorry,
Shall we all drop?
I don't understand that.
I think we should drop or
Ah,
some.
drop. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think
Do we have some?
we should end the call. Yeah. Thank you very much for the for the talk, and yeah.
Thanks, Sukunda. Thanks, Andre. Thanks, Nicole. Bye.
Thank also. Bye.
Bye, robot.
Bye bye.
And
We speak on Discord more. Bye bye.
yeah, bye.